You've rewritten the same to-do list 11 days in a row. The task still remains undone. The course you paid for is still at 4%. The application remains uncompleted, yet the deadline is approaching. And here's the part that actually hurts. You're not lazy. You're not stupid. You're not weak. You've watched 100 videos about discipline. You've made the plans, set the alarms, said tomorrow I will start so many times that tomorrow stopped meaning anything. So why does this keep happening? Everyone tells you it's willpower. Try harder, want it more, be disciplined. That's not it, but that's not even the real reason. So what is the real reason? It's not just one thing, it's 6 things. 6 quiet mechanisms running in the background of your mind right now, and not one of them is your fault. I know you want to be super effective and productive, but nobody taught you this. School didn't teach it. Nobody sat you down and explained why your own brain keeps working against you. By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why you do this. And more importantly, you're going to see the way out. Not motivation, not another quote to forget by tomorrow. An actual rewiring of how you think about starting hard things. So stay with me, because the first reason is the one that's been running your life the longest, and you've probably never even noticed it. Point 1. The real trigger. Procrastination was never about the task. It's about the feeling that hits the second you think about starting it. Think about the last thing you avoided. You had time. What you didn't have was the stomach for that flicker. You felt a tightness in your chest, the fear of doing it wrong, the weight of how big it suddenly feels. So your brain did what it's built to do. It found you an exit, a scroll, a snack. Let me relax a bit before I take on the task. That's not laziness. That's your brain protecting you from a feeling it didn't want to sit with. Which means every time you procrastinate, you're not avoiding the work. You're avoiding yourself. But avoidance isn't free. It charges interest. And the bill comes due somewhere you're not even watching. Point 2. The hidden cost of comfort. Here's what almost nobody tells you. Comfort isn't neutral. Every time you pick the easy escape over the hard task, your brain logs it quietly. It's not learning this task is hard. It's learning something about you, that you can be talked out of things, that your own word doesn't hold. Think of it this way. If a friend promised you something 5 times and broke it 5 times, would you still trust them? So why do you still trust yourself? That's the real cost. Not the unfinished task, your unfinished trust in yourself, draining out one later at a time. So slowly you don't notice it's gone until you reach for your own word and find nothing there. Most people stop here. They think the fix is just push through the discomfort. This is where the real problem begins. Point 3, the pattern you don't even notice. Every single day you trade your future for your present, not dramatically, in tiny, invisible installments. 2 minutes on your phone becomes 45. After this episode becomes after 3. The hard conversation gets pushed one more day, then another. None of it feels like a decision. That's the trick. But you're voting. Every single day. For the person you'll be in 6 months. And right now, without noticing, you keep voting for the version of you that stays stuck. A version of you with unachieved goals and dreams. Here's the part that'll sting. It's not that you don't care about your future self. It's that he doesn't feel real yet. He feels like a stranger. So you keep handing him your mess, like it's his problem, not yours. One day you wake up. You are him. And every trade, action or inaction you made is sitting there, staring at you in the eye, saying, I am exactly what you made me. Point 4, why you feel trapped. We're halfway through the 6 now, and this is the one most people never figure out, even after years of trying to fix themselves. Here's why this feels impossible to break. When you touch a hot pan, you drop it instantly, no debate, no willpower required. Now someone tells you to hold it 10 more seconds because it's good for you. Even understanding why, your hand still pulls back every time. That's what happens when you try to white-knuckle through procrastination with willpower alone. You're arguing logic with an instinct, and instincts don't listen to arguments. They listen to feelings. This is why you can know exactly what to do, want to do it, and still not move. It was never about knowledge. Your mind treats the task like the hot pan. something to escape, not something to hold. So ask yourself the real question. If you keep flinching from the discomfort instead of changing your relationship to it, who's actually driving? You or the discomfort? Quick thing. If you're still here, you're not like most people. Subscribe now so the next video finds you before the old pattern does. Point 5 of what you're losing every single day? Let's be honest about the stakes because it's bigger than a messy to-do list. Do the hard thing now, even badly, and you get something rare. Peace. The task is gone. Your mind is clear. The rest you take afterward, you actually get to enjoy because you earned it. Push it off, and here's the part nobody says out loud. The task doesn't disappear. It waits, and eventually life forces your hand. The deadline you ignored becomes a crisis. The body you neglected becomes a diagnosis. The conversation you avoided becomes a relationship that already ended without you. You don't escape the task by delaying it. You only trade choosing at your convenience for being told you don't have a choice. And forced timing is never yours. It's dictated by your boss, your body, the people you let down. Don't you want to be the one who decides? Because every day you delay, you're not just losing time. You're losing the confidence that comes from keeping your word. You're losing chances that don't sit around waiting for later. You're losing the freedom to set your own pace and handing that choice to circumstance instead. And that's still not the deepest problem. Point 6, the real reframe. Here's the part that, once you hear it, you can't unhear. You're not a passive creature pushed around by moods. You're a human being, the most capable creature this planet has produced. We built civilizations, cured diseases, explored the galaxies, because somewhere, someone decided discomfort doesn't get to be the boss. So when a feeling, just a feeling, not even a real threat, stops you from doing what you already know you need to do, you're not unlucky. You're living beneath your own ceiling. You are insulting your potentials as a human, and you are embracing mediocrity. Think about who you actually admire, not the people who got handed something, the ones who built it, the companies, the bodies, the lives other people envy. They didn't out-talent you. In the exact moments where scrolling, sleeping, or stalling would have been easier, they chose the harder thing, repeatedly, quietly. That's the entire gap between you and them. So here's the uncomfortable question. You admire people who grind. You watch their interviews. You quote their work ethic, and then you go live the opposite of everything you just admired. What does that make you? You can't keep idolizing discipline in other people while practicing avoidance in yourself. That's not a contradiction you can hold forever. Eventually, it has to break one way or the other. Procrastination was never about tasks. It's about who's actually running your life, you or your impulses. Every time you do the hard thing anyway, you're not just finishing a task, you're casting a vote for the person you respect, and every vote makes the next one easier. You don't need to fix your whole life today. You need to win the next 5 minutes. Start before you feel ready. Because ready is a feeling, not a requirement, and feelings should never be in charge of you in the first place. You were never built to be a slave to your own comfort. You were built to lead yourself. So decide right now, not tomorrow, not after this video ends. Because the moment you actually decide is the moment you stop being someone life happens to and become someone who happens to life. The only question left, are you going to keep waiting to feel like doing it? Or are you finally going to become someone who does it anyway? If this hits something in you, don't just nod and scroll past it like you always do. That's literally the pattern we just talked about. Subscribe for the person you're becoming. Then go do the one thing you've been avoiding right now. No excuses.